coffee this morning to process what I've heard, but as I heard Mr. Hill in particular describe his thinking on this, there are parts that I agree with and parts that I don't. I do agree that I think the conversation, as we've heard it in public comment, has strayed off into hyperbole and irrelevancy in a lot of ways. There's a lot of talk about what this does to property rights that is just not supported if one really understands how property rights exist, where they come from, and how they're processed. The notification, I don't think is. I don't think we obviously have had quite a robust discussion. So those issues, and I don't want to weigh into that. What I understand, having been with the board when we authorized the changes, is that the ordinance as it's currently constituted is not working the way it should. And I am willing to listen with an open mind to colleagues as they talk about ways in which this ordinance should be improved. But I want to get a sense from members of the board that they understand that it does need to be improved, because it's my opinion, and I think that was shared certainly by most of the board who directed the changes be made, that this ordinance as constituted was doing too much to encourage rural residential development relative to the amount of ag preservation it was actually doing. And that's really the crux of it to me. In the interim between authorizing changes and getting to today, we have put in place what I think is fundamentally important policies that will guide our growth at a very high level in this county. We call it strategic growth, some call it smart growth, but to me it's the only sensible way in which we move forward so that we have a robust economy, so that we can provide government services. So under that larger framework, all our land use policies have to operate, and I do understand that there are instances in which this can be a tool that will preserve agriculture. We have a great counterexample. It happens to be in the 2nd District, Highland Ranch Conservation Project, which debated ag clustering as a conservation tool and ended up with a pretty straight conservation solution that I think is better for agriculture and involves reducing the amount of development that was potential on that property. So I have concerns about subdividing ag land to preserve it. That poses some significant negatives in my mind. I also know that there are instances in which a very well-developed subdivision process can provide the economic benefit that lead to significant ag land preservation. And from my standpoint, especially as a grower, I'm concentrating on the ag land. So I'm willing to engage a discussion of how this particular form of subdividing might be changed, but I'd like to get the sense from colleagues that change is needed, and we're going to work in good faith toward change. Those are my concerns.
Yes, thank you.